Have you ever seen something that looks one way, but is actually about something completely different? That's what we're diving into today. It's this wild global puzzle that looks like it's about the US and India, but, surprise, it's really all about Europe.
So on one side, you've got Donald Trump and India's Prime Minister Modi, and they're all smiles, right? They're sending these super friendly messages back and forth, talking about how they're going to be best buddies and trade and tear down all the walls between them. But then things get weird. At the same time, Trump turns around to officials from the European Union and tells them to do the complete opposite. He's like, hey, you guys should slap India with these huge 100% taxes on their stuff. It's kind of like telling your friend you want to play, but then telling another friend to go and take all their toys away. Super confusing, right?
So what is going on here? How can he be both friendly and not so friendly at the same time? Well, it might look like a total contradiction, but believe it or not, there's a really clever strategy going on behind the scenes. And it's not really about India at all. Let's get into it and figure out this whole puzzle.
All right, so let's break down this really confusing signal. To get what's happening, we've got to go back to the beginning and see how this all kicked off.
Okay, so it all starts with the conflict in Ukraine. The European Union gets pretty worried and asks the US for help. So what does Trump do? He decides to hit Russia's wallet by going after one of its biggest customers for oil, which happens to be India. He puts these special taxes or tariffs on them. And then he looks right at the EU and says, okay, your turn.
And this is the key to the whole thing, the really important part. Trump's main goal here wasn't really to punish India. Nope. His real target was the European Union. He was just using India as a way to put pressure on them.
So you've got this big clash of what everyone wants. On one side, Trump is trying to get the EU to team up with him and put these big tariffs on India to hurt Russia's economy. But what's the EU doing? The complete opposite. They're busy trying to make a huge trade deal with India to get rid of tariffs altogether.
And you can almost hear him saying it, right? He basically told the EU officials, look, you guys are the ones right next door to Russia. You should be way more worried than me. So you should be the ones to put these 100% tariffs in place. He was totally shifting the responsibility, putting the ball right in their court.
So you have the US putting on all this pressure. What does India do? Did they just sit there and take it? No way. They played it really smart, making some very clever moves of their own.
Instead of getting into a big fight, India decided to play chess. First, they lowered some of their own taxes at home to help their businesses handle the hit from the US tariffs. Then, they just kept buying oil from Russia, showing they're going to do their own thing. They also got friendlier with countries like Russia and China. And maybe most importantly, they didn't fight back against the US with their own tariffs. They just refused to get into that kind of trade war.
And that's not all. India was also making moves behind the scenes. They basically hired people in Washington, D.C., people who were close to Trump, to explain their side of the story and try to change his mind. Pretty clever, huh?
So because India was so smart about it, and because the EU just wouldn't do what Trump wanted, his first plan kind of fell apart. It just didn't work. So he had to completely change his game plan.
And here's what Trump started to see. While he was busy trying to get Europe to punish India, Europe and India were actually becoming better and better friends trade-wise. They were getting super close to a deal that would mean zero tariffs between them.
And you can see why, right? We're talking about $137 billion in trade every single year between them. That's a huge amount of money. For Europe, that friendship with India was just too valuable to throw away. Then, just to make things even more complicated, another thing happened. Trump started getting really annoyed with the European Union. He felt like they were unfairly picking on big American tech companies.
Like, the EU gave Google this massive fine of $3.5 billion. So in Trump's eyes, not only was Europe ignoring him about India, but they were also going after American companies. That did not make him happy.
And that was it. His focus totally flipped. He stopped trying to get Europe to pressure India and started threatening Europe directly. He basically said, I have this special rule I can use to put tariffs on you, and you won't be able to do anything about it. Suddenly, his main target wasn't India anymore, it was Europe.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. What does this all mean? Well, this whole thing was never really about a fight with India. It was like a big, complicated chess game. Trump's idea to put tariffs on India, that was just a move to push the EU. But India played it smart, and the EU had its own plans, so Trump's first strategy failed. And now all those nice things he's saying about India, that's his new way of putting pressure on Europe. See how it all connects?
It really makes you think, doesn't it? In this kind of global game, with everyone trying to get what they want, can anyone ever really come out on top?
We'd love to hear what you think about all this, so drop a comment below. And hey, if you found this whole puzzle interesting, please give us a like, share it with a friend, and definitely subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer.